Chapter 242, The Devotion of the Fool. The location I have teleported to is a huge room. The floor is entirely covered with a faint glitter, extended so far out as to cause an optical illusion that the horizontal sky can't be distinguished. Inside this room that appears to extend infinitely, there is an enormous magic circle filling it with what looks like a geometric pattern, and then, nestling amongst the magic circle like threads of a web, are countless small spiders, my clones. The clones here are hacking the system. Here, in the heart of the world, serving as a management region of the system's nexus, is a place where the goddess is sealed away. At the center of the magic circle, there she is, the goddess. With half her body missing, the goddess appears to have merged halfway into the floor of the room, as if chanting a curse. An incessant system message is being recited from her mouth. Proficiency requirements met. Proficiency requirements met. She only has one mouth, so that voice is heard overlapping repeatedly. Before my apotheosis, I had heard the voice ad nauseum, right? I had provisionally called it the voice of heaven, since it's actually the case that it's the voice of the goddess. I wasn't exactly wrong, was I? So, yeah, side note, the voice of heaven has been the goddess the whole time. People told me about this already, but yeah, I completely didn't even notice this at all, because I like to do voice of God, or voice of heaven in my narrator voice, which is a more masculine voice, so I will probably continue to do it in a more masculine voice, because old habits die hard. Sorry, goddess, you have a man voice. I approached the goddess, who was continuing to read out the messages with a vacant expression. Then, with my hand shaped like a blade, I thrust into it to the top remaining half of her body. The goddess, who has a look of anguish on her face. However, I disregard that and move to the hand that I had thrust in, penetrating the goddess's body. Error. Unexpected access from the outside identified. Proceeding to eliminate. She's gotta have a man voice. It's the only way it makes sense. The look of anguish disappeared from the goddess's expression, and simultaneously pain spreads through my hands. I ignored it. I paid no attention to the pain, carrying on to begin the hacking. Minute spasms spread across the goddess's body. The goddess manages the system's nexus that has been taking root in this world. I am directly interfering there to temporarily intervene with the system. What I'm interfering with is the effects of the ruler skill that is about to be activated, both the activator and also the target of that skill. For both of them, I start interfering with the root cause known as the system. The activator, it goes without saying, is Sensei. The target individual is Natsume-kun. The skill's effect is to offer up almost all the soul's power to the system, including skills, status values, skill points, and so on. However, that effect was not originally something that could be used on others. Sensei is forcibly changing that to exercise it on others. When such an absurd thing is done, there is a heavy burden on the skill user. In the first place, to activate this skill is basically almost equivalent to suicide. Via the system, I inhibit the operation of the skill. Natsume-kun's skills have gone, and his status values have gone down drastically. I don't give a damn about that. The problem is on Sensei's side. By forcibly activating the skill, Sensei's own skills are disappearing as a side effect. If that was all, then no big deal, but because Sensei is protecting Natsume-kun's soul, Sensei's own soul is now on the brink of collapse. I ain't grumbling about something minor here. I somehow reconnect Sensei's collapsing soul and start to regenerate it. I somehow manage to prevent the collapse. All the same, it's not like there's zero damage, though. I breathe again, and pull my hand out from the goddess's body. The wound on the goddess vanishes in an instant, and she begins to mutter the system messages again as if nothing had happened. Seriously, what a crazy thing to do. If she was unlucky, or rather, if I hadn't intervened, then Sensei's soul would have collapsed and she'd have died. In addition, for the soul to collapse means that even reincarnation is not possible. Complete death. Really, that was absurd. Through my clones, I check on Sensei and the others. Having his skills erased, Natsume-kun is thrown into confusion. Unable to comprehend the situation, Yamada-kun is in a daze, and finally, putting on a brave face with all their might while totally worn out, is Sensei, who is instructing Natsume-kun. This world does not belong to you. I advise you to reflect on this time and live on the normal person from now on, because even if you merely gain skills and become stronger, nothing good will come of it. She's against gaining skills? Why? I don't understand her doubts, nor her solution. It's like the feeling of a small bone being stuck in your throat. My mood can't relax at all. Well, whatever. Sensei, either way, your actions this time will be in vain. Even if you steal Natsume-kun's skills, in the end, he still won't change. Natsume-kun isn't likely to reflect on his actions at all, and furthermore, your skill isn't perfect either. Even if you erase his skills, because they're used in a different purpose than originally intended, the end result is incomplete. In that case of Natsume-kun's erased skill, for the part of the soul's power used for those skills, half of that is still remaining in Natsume-kun. A skill that is something that shaped the power of the soul into a form that makes it easy to use in practice. As such, the power of the soul that is currently unused is customized by the power of the system into an easily accessible form. In short, so long as the power of the soul remains, it means that it's still possible to acquire another skill. For something easy to understand like skill points, it basically means putting on display the excess amount that can be used. Natsume-kun has certainly lost his skills, however, he still possesses half the remaining energy from them. Then it is apparent that his state will change back to how it was. All Sensei has done is to just briefly stop him in his tracks and nothing more. For the crazed Natsume-kun, I don't think that this is going to stop him at all, let alone something improbable like him reforming himself. Humans are not such noble creatures. I look at the goddess, Sensei for one, the goddess for another. I wonder why they are trying to devote their lives to such pointless things. Scum will be scum. No matter how far you go, they won't be saved. Why don't they get that? Also, why are they able to sacrifice themselves in order to try to save that lot? It's incomprehensible. I'm annoyed. What do they think of their own lives? Isn't desperately struggling to stay alive what living creatures are supposed to be about? But they are doing nothing but going out of their way to waste their own lives. What makes me even angrier is that everyone I approve of does such things. This is why everything is getting ruined. The goddess's devotion, Kuro's anguish, the demon king's determination, and Sensei's charity. All of that lumped together just brings ruin. What of the world? I don't care. If it's going to be destroyed, then go be destroyed already. Rather than everyone, I would rather only save people those I approve of. What Sensei has activated was a presentation skill. The result is, as the name suggests, the power to present of the soul. To present the power of the soul that is compromised of one's own skills to the world. Sensei forcibly made Natsume-kun present his skills and statuses. The end result felt like it became half a success and half a failure, though. Skills are formed from the power of the soul, so then what happens when the power of the soul is suddenly lost? Well, when the power that comprises the soul is abruptly lost, the soul obviously collapses. Sensei sacrificed her own soul so that she could hold together Natsume-kun's soul, which would otherwise have collapsed. And then for Sensei's soul, it was me who held hers together. Because of that, even I've taken some damage, you know? Sigh. To prepare for conflict against Kuro, I had wanted to avoid wasting energy as much as possible, too. Well, this time it couldn't be avoided. However, I cannot allow Sensei to take the same measures again. For me, as a god, it would merely conclude with a sense of having uselessly wasted a bit of energy. But in Sensei's case, her soul has taken an enormous amount of damage. If she does the same thing one more time, I don't have any confidence that I can prevent collapse again. I have to control Natsume-kun's activities as well. If I continue to just let him do as he pleases, I'm sure that nothing good will come of it. Okay, I've decided. Originally I intended to simply observe, but now I'm going to intervene with all my might. Ooh. Yep. Yep. She's gonna intervene. Oh, I like it when she intervenes. It's a whole lot of fun.